visit us tonight?
There'll be food and drink and ghosts, and perhaps even a few murders.
It has been established that persons who have recently died have been returning to life and committing acts of murder.
You remember the fun we had when you poisoned me?
Soothing, isn't it?
Well, you realize, of course, that we'd have to have a body to put in that casket.
Yeah, they're dead. They're all messed up.
This is a spooky edition of the Argo City Podcast with Maddie
She's so amusing.
and Matthew.
Imbecile, bombastic ignoramus.
And we have returned.
So, we
ran into a couple bumps in the road for this week.
I feel like there is just some cosmic force that is trying to delay or get in the way of you watching Zombieland. So we tried. We were going to go out and see that at the Case Western Reserve Film Society, and we just ran out of time. We couldn't get there, and then we tried tonight, and I had it, but somehow the file was got corrupted. VLC player flat out refused to play it.
Yeah.
And media player had it. It was so muddy. It was like watching a television on the other side of a
I think
dank
it's
pond.
glass. Yeah, it was really blurry and really almost staticky. So
Yeah, it was unwatchable. We just couldn't do it. So, and I feel bad about that because really Zombieland is the next one that we were supposed to watch. It's the next one we should watch.
and you
when we're talking about zombie comedy.
Yeah, you spent 20 minutes trying to find a source somewhere, and it's nowhere.
Yeah, and that's just so weird because it's usually on Pluto or Tubi or Amazon or Netflix or something, and no legitimate sources. And I couldn't even get a less than legitimate source, and I don't have a copy of it. I thought I did, but I don't have a copy of it, which is, again, invest in physical media just because this is what happens. So instead, we just moved ahead one step in the zombie comedy track and headed over to Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse.
We hit one of the trailers for this as well, previewing for Zombieland, and I was like, oh,
Right.
This looks like fun. And
And-
this movie was fun.
And it's supposed to be because that's all part of this. The zombie comedy genre really only lasted for about a decade, maybe a little bit more than that.
Yeah,
but
we watched there was
we watched
actually
Shaun
a
of the
zombie
Dead starting.
No, but there was actually a zombie comedy that I showed you with the preschoolers.
Yeah.
Kindergarten class. Did we do a podcast on that one? I don't remember if we
I
did.
don't think we did. No, I
Oh,
think that
what
was
a
just before we
shame.
had started. We may need to revisit that. But,
Yeah, that one was so much fun.
the zombie comedy kind of peaks with Zombieland. Zombieland is the most commercial that the genre ever got.
Yeah.
And it's the most polished that the genre ever got. And Scout's Guide is kind of on the way out. It's at the tail end of that whole thing.
Yeah.
But it benefits from everything that's come before it.
Oh yeah,
And-
this thing was throwing in reference after reference after reference.
And in my opinion, actually, this may well be the best of the zombie comedy genre. I really think that it is.
Really?
It's so out there, and it's so just cracked. It's so wild, and they're not trying to go anywhere. They're not trying to build a franchise. They have the freedom to do whatever they want.
They really do whatever they want.
So real quickly, we'll do a synopsis on this. We've got a group of scouts. Now, they never mention what kind of scouts. It's not necessarily, scare quotes, Boy Scouts. It's generic. And they're heading out for their camp, and one of them's about to get his. It sounds like
his commerce badge.
Yeah, it sounds like it's
the
their
final
version
badge.
of Eagle Scout.
It's like I don't know anything about any of these terms.
Well, and you know what? See, Eagle Scout actually is a big deal. I mean, it's a really big deal. You
Really?
have to you have to be scouting all the way into high school. You have to do an enormous amount of community service, and if you're gonna get it, you got to get it before you're 18, and when you're 18. I helped one of my friends actually achieve Eagle Scout. If you were to go into the military, Eagle Scout actually gives you immediate rank.
Really?
It's that big of a deal.
That's insane.
And it's that rare. Like, it's not unheard of, but it is a serious achievement. So when they're pointing this out, it's like, okay, yeah, you even notice, well, that kid's got, like, his entire... He's full of badges. He's done everything.
It's like Awanas all over again.
So, yeah, we meet them as they're recruiting, and I mean, it's harder when you're in high school. Although there's probably more Boy Scouts than you think in high school. I actually, the same year this came out, 2015, the local Boy Scout troop brought me in to do. They were doing like a zombie jamboree.
I remember you telling me about that.
So I went out to the campground, and I made up like dozens of Boy Scouts that night.
That's wonderful.
And I regret not getting like a photo with all of them together. I also helped co-spoke with one other person, and we did a seminar on how to do the makeup. And it's fun listening to them. Okay, so to do this, we're all right. I've got an hour's worth of spooky, scary skeletons on loop. And okay,
God.
What do you want? Do you just want grease paint? Do you want us to do some airbrushing? Do you want physical prosthetics? And this is how we'll do them. We'll use cotton or toilet paper, and there's a few photos floating around still of me actually doing that.
You're going to have to show me them if you find any.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's more than you'd think, but there's also look. It's a world of its own, and they're feeling a little outcast for still being scouts. Like the senior class has a super secret rave that they're going to have, and the popular kids are teasing them. Well, oh sure, it's over here.
And they give them a fake address.
Yeah, to ditch them.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's that kind of stuff. But at the same time, they're like, do we still want to do this? Well, our Eagle Scout here is really gung-ho. But, so we got a lot of that going on. In the meantime, a janitor with headphones on has released the zombie virus. And hilarity ensues.
It's like he doesn't get attention by the guy that's working dutifully in the lab. So he comes in with his mop and it's like, I'm going to clean the place. And then he's like, sure, I'll go get a snack. I want my, what were they, like Takis?
Takis Fuego.
He wanted his Takis. And he didn't get his Takis in the end. Sadly, he got eaten by the janitor. But
so our scouts suddenly find themselves in the middle of a zombie apocalypse, even when they're like sneaking up to the party or up to no good.
Yeah.
Or, going over to the Scoutmaster's house, the Scoutmaster who's obsessed with Dolly Parton.
That was crazy to me. Just seeing like all the, because I remember seeing a lot of stuff from a time when Dolly Parton was the most important thing in the universe. And it was like, okay, you do you, my friend.
Like you actually asked me, do you think they had to pay for that, or I know they had to license the song. I wonder what all they had to do. Because
I am genuinely kind of curious about that. Because I've heard
his apartment's full. The pinball machine, the autographs, the life-size standee.
Like, I've heard that Dolly Parton does a lot of charity work, so I'm like, I wouldn't be surprised if she was willing to, like, let them use this for an inside joke, but,
well, yes, but at the same time, it's this kind of movie.
That's true.
They're we'll get to that in a little while too. So we have a convoluted plot device where, okay, so the military is going to come in and bomb the town. We got to warn the people at the party. What do you mean party? The adults don't know anything about a party. Well,
You
the
know
only way
what?
we'll
That
figure it out
tracks, though.
is by getting one of the diary of one of the
One of the
sisters.
kids' sisters. And they have to, like, search for this diary as well. Like,
And
in
it
throughout
becomes
her
a
room.
thing that too. And so it's all, and finally it's gear up and head out to the rescue.
Yeah, and we go and save a bunch of people. We're fighting off the zombies, and we run down a trash hoop and get saved by the military. So it's like,
You know,
that's not even going into all the little things.
no, it really isn't, because it's like, and you know, it's hard to say. It turns into an adventure.
It really does. It feels so natural with what everything they're doing. They just jump from one thing to the other, and
But-
even with all the random hijinks, it still feels natural.
And you still get plenty of jump scares. You still get plenty of horror.
Yeah.
There's plenty of blood. There's plenty of interesting kills. Like, there's stuff in there that even you're like, even you where you're squeamish with gore, you're like, oh, that's cool.
No, the ball hitting through like 3 zombies' head. The special effects on that were awesome. I can let it slide when I can tell that it's like special effects.
Well,
It's
and
just-
also, yeah, it's so cartoony. It's like it's
Yeah.
comic book violence. It's not.
And-
It's not uncomfortable.
Yeah. And like you cut this down quite a bit for me for gore and other such things, which I will say this movie was amazing, but I have to say all of the sexual stuff really bothers me in this.
And there's a lot of it.
It's like an occasional like sex joke is fine. I'll like let it slide,
Mm-hmm.
but it's constant throughout this. And I get that they're like teenage boys, but I don't like to see that in media.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that. And every time I just felt my face drop. I felt myself out of the moment. I felt myself getting pulled back because
Yeah.
there is no place for this amount of it. Like I said, an occasional one is fine, but they overdo it.
But at the same time, this is too good of a movie for me to not want to
Yeah.
share with you.
I am laughing and screaming and hoping for that one child to die the entire movie. I was enjoying almost every second of this.
Well,
like,
and you know what? You're laughing. That actually was one of the things I noticed, because I almost feel like this, while it's still plenty horror, I really feel like this, more than anything else, is first and foremost a comedy.
yeah.
And they really lean into it with just how ridiculous things get.
Yeah, I mean, Grandma losing her dentures and, like, attempting to bite is
Yep.
kind of hilarious.
Grandma-
The cats! The cats!
Okay, so Grandma's a crazy cat lady.
Grandma's crazy cat lady.
And,
And immediately, once I heard that, I was like, oh, we're gonna get zombie cats. And then as we're like, we see her come into the house. I'm like, where are the cats? Why doesn't she have an army of cats behind her? Then we go into Grandma's house, and we get an attack from a cat. And then we look over, and in the darkness, you see like 6 pairs of eyes. And I'm like, oh! I
That-
was so excited!
That's actually something that I kept noticing throughout this whole film, especially this time around, because obviously I've seen this before. We'll talk a little bit about that too, but the cinematography, the way that they frame those shots.
Yeah.
So you just see the darkness, and then all the glowing eyes open. You never see the army of cats. You see them, the paws reaching under the door, like when you go to the bathroom.
Yeah, like I kind
You-
of figured they made it work so they didn't have to buy a bunch of puppets and such.
You see one of the kids going to the bathroom, sitting on the toilet, and behind him in the window, you can see the
man.
zombies slowly. The framing, it's slowly lumbering up to him, and the framing is just so perfect.
During the makeout scene in the bedroom, we see a zombie on the trampoline. We see him slowly hop up. And I'm doing motions with my hands, but hop up. We see him in the background. I'm
And
like,
you don't even catch
hello?
it at first, and
Hi
suddenly-
there, friend.
Yeah, you have to watch everything
To watch
that's
the background.
going on here.
I want to know who gave Granny a scooter. Like it's the background in this is amazing.
By the way, the crazy cat lady, the granny, that is Cloris Leachman. And Cloris Leachman's like somebody. She's actually somebody.
Oh.
She's an old actress who's done plenty of legitimate Hollywood. And
Oh, no.
I'm just like, what are you doing in this film?
She wanted to have some fun.
And so that's kind of what I'm feeling about Dolly Parton too. It's like, okay, yes, do you know what this is, don't you? You know how out there we're gonna go.
Yeah, I still adore them for it. I really do.
It's a great gag, but then again, there's plenty of those kind of great gags too. One of the things I pointed out to you, I said to you, okay, so you're gonna have to learn the rules on this one.
Yeah, and I was figuring out my rules as we were going on.
So tell me about what you were noticing.
Okay, give me a second. I gotta think back to it. So, rule 1, the virus does spread to animals. We saw that with the deer earlier
weird.
on. That is weird, because animals aren't usually affected by it. If anything, they're eaten, but they don't get turned.
And it's more than once, because you were just talking about the cats.
Yeah.
Like, and you know what? Okay, so what's the concentration of the virus, too? Like, let's say the cat bit one of the kids. Is that enough to turn somebody?
That's
and I don't know
true.
that it is.
I would even think, like, there's a whole theory about, like, if mosquitoes proceeded to drink, like, zombified blood, we'd be doomed no matter what. But, like...
But that's transmission of blood, not saliva.
Yeah.
If
and
we
it's
look
like,
at other bloodborne pathogens, if we look at something like HIV, blood is concentrated enough to transmit it, whereas, say, saliva is not. Urine is
Yeah.
not. Sweat is not. But other fluids are.
Yeah, and it's like, and then it was like, rule 2, these zombies are intelligent. They will actively search for you. They do remember things.
There's a
So,
lot more intelligence, I think,
yeah,
than
we
what
get,
we're used
like,
to.
We get, I want to say it was the bouncer who is searching through the bathroom doors, and he's flicking them open one by one until he reaches the last one. He's banging on the door because he can't get inside of it, and luckily our lady hero, she saves the day, shoots him in the back of the head. But these zombies are intelligent. They go to the same places. They remember things,
They
which
can
is...
run a scooter.
They can run a scooter, and that's frankly terrifying.
Also, this does bring us to a trope that is, I really believe this is unique to us. But the trope is, if you're confronted with a zombie, dance. Music. Dance.
Yeah, and we sung to the zombie. What song was it?
It's a Britney Spears song.
Yeah, it
It's
was
Hit Me
Britney
Baby
Spears.
One More Time.
Oh yeah, okay. And they were he started off with one lyric because he noticed the shirt on the zombie.
Yeah.
And I wonder if we go around and look at the clothing of other zombies, because we've talked about before how sometimes we'll go to conventions wearing specific merchandise to get people who know that to talk to us. Like, could we theoretically use any sort of thing about fandom to these zombies? Could I get into a conversation with a zombie about something, or could I do a chant from a movie with a zombie?
These, maybe.
And
that kind of goes back to Bub from Day of
yeah,
the Dead.
exactly.
He's developing, and we even saw some of that in Land of the Dead, where they're remembering, and some of those patterns. It's almost as if the neurons are forming new neural pathways in the brain. These seem to have retained a lot of their personality in that.
Yeah, then like rule 3, zombies go dormant after a while. They don't physically, like, at one point our heroes are trapped in a jail cell and we're surrounded by zombies. And at first they are clawing at trying to get them, but when we skip ahead a little bit later, we still see some of the zombies trying to reach for them, but only when they get agitated or get close enough to them.
They run out of steam.
They do. And I'm wondering, like, what the specific time frame is on that, because, like I said, they go dormant after a while, so that's also useful information to know. We also know they're not afraid to absolutely, like, lunge and throw themselves into things, whether that be just the intelligence of... Because remember when our friend was trying to get into the police station to rescue our heroes.
Yes.
We see when the door is like blocked off, we see a zombie not try to break the door handle, but he uses his back of his arm to break the glass and then jumps through the window. So it's like, it's once again that intelligence again.
Well, intelligence but no pain.
Yes.
Like at one point we see one that's scuttling on all fours, and its spine is actually sticking out of its back. I think the spine is broken. I don't think it can walk. I don't think it can straighten up anymore.
Yeah.
And so they're really playing into that and playing into the, okay, we'll run until we burn out. we'll move until we burn out, and then it's and it slows down a lot.
Yeah. I feel like I had like one more rule, but now I can't remember.
You did. I think it's that the idea of zombies exists.
Yeah, but yes, zombies and zombie media exists in this universe.
Yeah, because they believe them right away. There's no half an hour first act of trying to convince everybody that there's a zombie apocalypse starting. They just get it. They just know. I don't know if it's happened. I don't think it's happened before. Although that military, maybe it has. The military seems ready for it. But the idea, it's immediately accepted, and we move on.
Yeah.
So it's not a plot point anymore.
But this movie does have some set rules. I don't necessarily think the zombies go entirely off of sight. A couple times throughout the movie, we see them, like, only go off sound. At one point, we're, like, standing a little bit away from a zombie, and they don't notice anything about what we say. They don't notice us until we speak.
I think the sight's probably less...
Yes, I think it's blurry-ish.
Yes.
But I think they're more so drawn to sound rather than sight fully.
We talked a little bit about how this really benefits from everything that's come before.
Yeah.
I don't know. You seem to really think this was seriously influenced by 28 Days Later.
Well, it's
and
like
that's probably the first zombie movie that we podcasted about.
Yeah, like it's the stuff with the rage virus and the way that it's created with the animals and
that opening feels very, very.
Yeah.
It feels like it, but slapstick. Like, okay, 28 Days Later, but make it a comedy.
Yeah, exactly. There was a couple of other references throughout. Like, I noticed one immediately of Shaun of the Dead. We're jumping over a trampoline to get to the neighbor's house.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not only is that freaking hilarious, but the fact that we're referencing that. You pointed out a Halloween reference on one of the street signs.
Yes, one of the street signs is for Haddonfield.
Yeah.
There's the moment where they've got to change the tire on the car. And
Yeah.
you're like, this is just... We're back
We're back in the cave.
tunnel.
We're back in the cave trying to change the tire before all the zombies come after us. Like, dude.
And these are fast zombies, mostly. Especially the ones on scooters.
Yeah. I need a figure of Granny on a scooter.
But yeah, it feels like there are... It loves the genre. And that, by the way, that's why you get as much blood as you do. That's why we get, like, the arming up sequence.
That was really cool.
Eventually, I think we're going to get into the second Phantasm movie, and there's one of those sequences that it feels like this is straight out of that.
Oh, that'll be fun.
So there's a lot of that kind of stuff going on here. I mean, I enjoyed this from the word go. So I actually got to see this back in 2015 when it first came out. Actually, before it came out. I had just done a monster photo shoot for a Monster Junkie magazine, and Ginger Rose then made sure that I got passes to an advanced screening. Where that was like, and that's what they were calling the ultimate fan experience. They were handing out T-shirts.
That's hilarious.
Which I'm wearing.
Yeah, we were like halfway through the movie when I looked over at you when we were talking. I was like, wait a minute. Oh, I get it now.
They had people dressed up as scouts there.
That's wonderful.
And it was great. I took photos, and I absolutely fell in love with this right away. Because it just is the best of all of these. And then, a couple weeks later, I'm at 12 Hours of Terror.
Yeah.
And it was one of the secret movies.
That's hilarious.
So, I saw this twice before it hit theaters.
Dude,
and
that's awesome.
I'm like, I will take that. It's just...
It's that fun of a movie, and I feel like even through rewatching, you can just appreciate even more things about it.
Yeah, I think so, because I got to sit back this time and just kind of watch the background.
Yeah, and that's always the fun part.
And we still have these interpersonal relationships here. They're not just cardboard cutouts that are there for you to knock down.
oh no, we really get some character development in these, like the character that I wanted to die the whole time, or like our friendly buddy who just wants to be accepted by his friends and wants them to be scouts forever and hang out and have fun, and our other like morally great character that's like, I don't know if I enjoy this, but I don't want to let my friend down, and the friend that I want to die.
So our lead is actually we just saw him a while back in Ready Player One, and that's weird because I'm so much more used to him in this than I am in that. The girl he's crushing on, I actually know her from the Orville, from the best Star Trek series that isn't actually Star Trek.
Okay.
So, it's better than the real Star Trek that Kurtzman's been putting out. It just, so I know her. I actually used to her in Alien makeup, and the long blonde hair is throwing me off.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, these people all went on to do stuff as well, and that's also good things. But this really is it. This is kind of the end of the line when it comes to the zombie comedy. It's not the commercial profitable thing anymore, so it's going to have to be something kind of like what you were showing me, where it's a foreign film.
Yeah.
Or it's an underground film, a low-budget film, something like that. Fortunately, there's still plenty of that. And the good thing is, even though the genre's done, even though we're at the end of it, well, we still skipped one. We're gonna get to Zombieland.
We'll get to it.
We got
I
as
want to
far-
watch it.
Well,
but the universe seems conflicted on letting me.
And you know what? You saw some of the rules. So you got, because even as we're watching this, you're immediately falling into, okay, double tap, slam his head into the door one more time. Have you learned nothing about bathrooms? And you know what? Bathrooms, this was a great example of how bathrooms are so very bad.
Oh my gosh, legitimately. That's why girls never go to the bathroom alone, because it's the Chamber of Secrets. Anyways, but like, dude, we only watched like 10 minutes of that first of the movie, and I was immediately like pouring out all these.
And seriously, that is prime zombie comedy era, so we're gonna get to it. You're hearing this well into the future. It's probably just about springtime, which is perfect for zombies right now. So the next time that I get a movie night, I will make sure I have a copy of Zombieland secured, and we're just going to do that next. That way we can just we'll do another zombie month. So you've probably just heard Dawn of the Dead, or not. So we'll probably do another zombie night, and you've just heard the Dawn of the Dead remake, and we're going to do this and Zombieland next.
That means I just have to find more zombie movies to put on my list, and I don't want to end the zombie track.
I'll tell you what, back in October, Train to Busan was a really good way to kick it off.
That was such a fun one.
But in the meantime, that is it for this week. So we will see you next week, and watch out for whatever's lurking outside your bathroom window.
Okay. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.